Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming back and hanging out with us on the couches. This is Talking Shit. My name is Don't Know Shit Doug, hanging out with Ryan and Angelo.
Yeah.
What's up, boys?
What up?
So, what have you guys been up to?
Watching the game.
Yeah, the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, the game. Yeah, no, I'm not good with stats or any of that stuff, but like I feel like Mahomes didn't really throw many interceptions or get sacked very much this season, or the Chiefs in general just had like no flags thrown
Yeah.
against them, and then all of a sudden the Super Bowl, like the last game they played against the Bills, everyone was like, "Are you fucking kidding?" Like these refs are basically playing on the Chiefs team right now, like.
Yeah.
And then, like, this Super Bowl comes around, and then, like, even when, like, they lost it, right? Like, dude, you lose your bonuses and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cried. Nobody was upset. Like, even Mahomes kind of looked like, it happens. You know? Like,
I lost like, $1.5 million.
Yeah, it's all right. You know? I'm like, dude, really? Like, fucking ridiculous. And then, like, the Eagles team, like, rookies are scoring and shit. Like, when the fuck does that happen? The fucking, what's his name? The one guy, Shaquan or whatever, you know. Barkley, whatever, I don't know. Whatever,
Yeah.
Rush for like 1 million yards every single fucking game, and then like he gets like 50 yards this game, doesn't score a single touchdown. Like, and it's like, and like all the parlays are, he has to score for the parlays to pay out, you know? Like, and Travis Kelce doesn't catch one fucking ball the whole game. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here, man? Like, you know, like it was so rigged the last Bills game that they were like, all right, man, we got to go the total opposite way. You guys are all getting your bonuses. Don't worry. You know?
We got to save face.
Vegas didn't care because they got paid a ton of money for everyone that lost on the fucking Chiefs, because everyone's like, Chiefs definitely going to win, you know? And like, you know, they got paid for that, so they had to pay out whatever guys actually bet the Eagles, you know?
Yeah. It's crazy. I saw on Instagram somebody laying out supposedly like, you know, $1 million cash at like a casino somewhere, fucking unpacking it and shit, putting it on the Chiefs. Like that was
too.
$1 million?
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that's a hell of a gut punch right there. $1 million in the drain.
It's dumb too. I mean, I think the payout was like a million, 1.2 or something back. So it was like you risked $1 million to get 1.2.
Yeah, 200,000.
Yeah,
You would have made that on interest if you just left it in the bank. But like even that, like I feel like that's like total bullshit, because you can't even go to a bank and get $10,000.
Yeah,
you know, cash.
Oh yeah. No.
So like, what were you doing, bro? The whole season you were going to the bank and withdrawing money to try to get $1 million cash, or you're just a fucking drug kingpin. You know?
Somehow, some way you were laundering it out of somewhere. Yeah. You were getting that cash out. I don't know.
Even in the casino, it was probably like, really $1 million cash, bro? Like you don't do bank transfers? You don't know what ACH is? Like, why transfer that shit to us? You know?
Yeah. I guess. As far as like transfers go, you have to. Sometimes they order the money. They don't even have the money at the bank, so the order takes a while.
That's why, dude. They literally have like 10, 12 grand on. Like a regular bank has like $10,000 cash, you know, like they get pissed off when you go there and ask them for $5,000 because that fucks their whole day up. You know, like, we're gonna run out of fucking money now. You know,
I like it when they go to the bank and I'm like, I need some money, whatever. And if it's a high amount, like let's say it's 10,000 or whatever, they're like, "What's this for?" I'm like, "It's my money." I'm buying a car. Oh, congratulations. Well, what the fuck? Why'd I have to tell you?
Exactly.
Even when you go to a bank and you pay like your credit card, like I got a Capital One card. Yeah, if I go pay cash, you know, because I do cash side jobs. If I go pay cash to my Capital One card, they want to see my ID.
Oh, okay.
They're like, "Oh, we got to check." You know, I'm like, "What are you checking, man?" I'm like, "Look, just for the record, put this in the notes. Anybody walks in here and wants to pay my bill, let them. Let them fucking pay. Anybody. I don't care who the fuck it is. Let them pay my bill.
Anybody coming into the account, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's like so retarded. Oh, we got to, you know. What are you checking? What are you checking? It's cash. It's from America. It says right there, United States of America. That's who it's from. It's Uncle Sam's money. Yeah. Put it in my bank account. You know? Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's that laundering.
Put this away for
shit.
storage.
Yeah.
That's what I'm paying you to do.
For a while, you could. For a while, I remember so I used to rent a car to do Uber, like Uber in the city. So I had to get a TLC license, and I had to get like a TLC car and everything.
How was that?
What, to get the license?
No, to be driving in the city every single day. That was
I didn't go to Manhattan every day. No, I used it in the 5 boroughs. I was driving around Brooklyn and Queens and shit. I didn't really go into Manhattan that much. It was wild. And when you're in Manhattan, you pick somebody up, they expect you to know where you're going.
Right.
Not me. I was like, fuck, you know? But Yeah, long story short, the guy I was paying him, first of all, it was like a car that he bought from, I don't even know, like an auction or something like that. You could tell they like repainted it. There was still like, the matter of fact, they didn't even tape the windows when they painted it because you could see like the paint overspray all over the glass and shit. But yeah, so I used to pay them. He wanted me to pay him with the Cash App. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about Cash App. But then he was like, oh, I'll go to this bank. And here's my routing number and everything. And like, put the cash in there. And I was doing that. I was giving him like $500-$600 a week to his account.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wow, this does seem illegitimate, right? Yeah. But long story short, I got tired of paying him for that shit. And fucking Uber came out here in Nassau County, And so you don't need a TLC anymore.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
In the city, you don't?
Out here in Nassau, no.
Okay.
But in the city, you do, yeah.
Yeah, I think you still have to pay that like taxi fee that they have.
Yeah, well, delivery commission, that thing has been huge forever. Even before Uber, it was like mafia shit.
Oh, yeah. But they fucked all the taxi drivers when Uber came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. They fucked them bad.
Yeah.
It was like the medallion was like $1 million.
Yeah.
And like Uber came out and they're like, all right, everyone can drive. And then like the fucking taxi commission made a big deal about it. And they're like, all right, you guys need livery plates. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and exactly that's what they did. And what's crazy is that like, so Uber made it like easy. So there was a whole thing. They have a building out in Long Island City, and they had rooms. And every room you would go into, they talk about like everything that you needed, and they did everything. It was like an assembly line, and they got you to get the TLC at the end. I had to take a course. It was a 24-hour course. So like I was there every day for like 3 days to get that 24 hours in. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm surprised they just didn't have 3 people talking to you at once. And like, you shit, 8 hours one day.
No.
24 hours done.
What's funny?
Pay attention to all 3.
Yeah. Okay. What's funny about that whole test though is the hardest part of the test is, first of all, they talk about drinking, which is just like the driving test, which is stupid, but you have a license, you should know not to drink and drive. Yeah. But no, using a map. So using a map, like actually like knowing and understanding how to coordinate on a map.
Really?
Yeah. And knowing how, and like
that's the largest
in Manhattan, like
that
how
seems like so fucking stupid. That's like, well, we're going to learn to navigate by the stars today. Like, it's like, yo, when the fuck do you use a map? The whole point of Uber is not to use maps, It shows me on the fucking thing where to go. I follow the blue line.
Yeah, on what?
Yeah, on your phone.
Yeah, but what is it on? What is that blue line on?
You're not reading a map.
Well, you're still looking at.
You're looking at a fucking drawing.
Well, some people actually need to like that drawn out.
You're not looking at a fucking map.
Is how to follow the blue line.
You ever use a map back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to look up the fucking street in the back. It says go to fucking page 16, section B 17.
Yeah,
You have to try to find where you're going, then figure out where you are, and fucking follow the. It's not anything like using a fucking phone, bro. It's nothing.
Well, no, I'm saying maybe
not even close.
Maybe the course is about using your phone in the map app versus like an actual.
No, it's actually a map. Right?
It's
like
all maps. Yeah, it's all maps, and it's maps to the city. And specifically
I
the
take
city.
that back here. So my bad.
But it's not an Uber thing. That's a TLC. That's the Taxi Livery Commission thing, right? Yeah.
So this is like historically brought in. They're like, you guys need to learn how to.
Yeah. If you want to, they call it a hack license. So if you want a hack license to be able to drive a cab, you need to pass that test, and it's all basically on maps. And they talk about the grid system and how like the streets. Avenues and streets and how the numbers work. There's like a whole pattern.
Except for downtown.
Yeah. Everything south of 120th Street, it's like different. But I don't know, man. All I know is I studied it. I went crazy for it. I got it. Everything was good. I'm able to drive yellow cab, green cab, fucking black car. Doesn't matter.
To this day?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you just go and you renew it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, every couple of years. Well, they do like a brush up shit where you're supposed to like take another course and then... which is on maps, and then probably
more
and then
map
do it
courses.
again. Yeah. But like, listen, not for nothing, like you can get in trouble for a lot of shit. So I remember they were saying like, if you have a passenger in the car, they're allowed to touch and handle your radio. They're allowed to open and close all the windows and doors. They could do whatever they wanted. If they want to blast the radio as loud as they want, and they ask you to do that, you have to let them do it.
Really?
Like, yeah. And if you don't, they can call the TLC and be like, yeah, this cab driver. Here's his hack number, here's this and that, and they'll fucking investigate you.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, they don't take no shit. Yeah, it's crazy.
I didn't know I could request that.
Yeah.
Blast gangs. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
they can, yeah.
We don't have to listen to their conversation because they're constantly on the fucking phone. You know, it's like, nah, bro, we're putting on Wu-Tang.
Turn that up to 11.
Get some NWA on here and drive through Harlem.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I remember that, and I'm like, oh wow, you know, you can get in trouble, and they can fine you, and at worst case, you know, take away your license, then you can't drive. And there's actually a list online. If you go online, you can see the names of all the drivers who are suspended.
Yeah.
And you can look up your name and see if it's good or not.
So they have a wall of shame?
Yeah. Oh
Wow.
yeah. And you're not allowed to share with people. And if they find that you share with people, like you get it, you know, I'm going to do it for my cousin or something, then they find you. It's like craziness. They have this thing in the city, at the airport, right? So they said, I remember at Uber, they were like, listen, if anybody jumps in your car and wants a ride, you can't take them nowhere. Yeah. Because Uber's like point to point. They got to use the app. Yeah. And even if you're using a black car, let's say you don't have an app, you're doing Uber in a black car, not Uber, but you're doing black car driving, it's point to point. And it has to be done through the dispatch. So you got to call. That's supposed to call somebody, arrange the pickup and everything. Can't just jump in the car.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like pull up to the airport one day and drop somebody off, and as the guy's getting out the car, someone else jumps in the car, and I'm like, oh hey, what's up, buddy? Can you take me to I don't even know what the hell he said, someplace in Queens, and I'm like, no, you can get out of the car, and he was like, no man, it's all good, I'll pay you cash, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. You got to use Uber or you got to fucking just get out because I'm not taking cash for that.
The cabs around here used to do that all the time, man. Because the cabs in Nassau County, it used to work. They get the car, right? And then they give it's 50-50 split or some shit like that with the cab company.
Yeah.
For the rides. But they're always sitting at the train stations because they had all the cab stands at all the train stations out here in Nassau County. So you get off the train, you see a guy sitting in the car. Hey man, how much should it take me, down the block? Oh, give me $25.
Damn.
And you're like, $25? Yeah. Fuck out of here. Call the number on the side of the car. They're like, all right, $11. That's the guy taking you down the road now for $11. And it's like, guess what, buddy? No tip. You just try getting me for $25, you cocksucker.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Fucking. I know all the time, and they used to do that shit.
Do you remember when Uber was on strike and no drivers were driving on Long Island? It was about a year ago.
I vaguely heard something about that, but at the time I didn't really use Uber all that much.
Well, I was using.
I don't use it that much either. I just drive drunk. Fuck it.
Well, I was using it. We don't endorse drinking and driving.
Yeah. It's not for pussies.
So I needed an Uber home from work, and so I gave him a call. Didn't show up. From where I'm at to the train is about $9. Because they weren't in session, I decided to call the taxi company. The taxi company came in, and the guy was like, all right, yeah, I'll take you home. That'll be $24. I was like, are you serious? And he's like, well, why? I was like, because the Uber guy is $9, and you're going to charge me $22 to drive the same distance? I'm like, no wonder you guys are going out of business.
Yeah, and they charge extra for more passengers and shit. It's like, really? But what about having an extra person with me costs more money?
Yeah.
We're not going long distance.
It's the gas. It's like that extra. Use more gas. With the
use more gas. We're gonna use 1/10 of a gallon, bro. Like what the fuck?
That's like the Uber driver the other day not letting that big girl rapper, into the car.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that controversy?
Oh yeah, but didn't she not fit though? Like,
well, no, he just is like, no, my car can't take
he's like,
you.
this is a fucking Prius, all right? The average weight class for this is 100 pounds a passenger. You're 9 passengers.
Yeah.
Car seats 4.
I don't have a towing capacity.
Yeah.
You need to call the XL.
It's funny though, they did allow you to refuse rides for any reason. Like if you wanted to refuse somebody and not allow them in the car, you could.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could use. You gotta be able to use discretion. You pull up on the guys. It happened to me with Doug one day, man. We're leaving the bar, and the fucking guy pulls up. I open the door of the Uber and just start throwing up next to it, and he just takes off. And I'm like, "What are you doing, man?"
He wasn't about to have it. Huh?
I guess I'm walking.
Like, that guy's not driving in my car. I'm not cleaning that up tonight.
That's crazy, dude. Crazy. Yeah. I mean, one time I did a ride for somebody, and So, emotional support animals.
Yeah, I have an emotional support iguana.
Yeah. So you're supposed to allow them in the car too, and this guy brings like a little fucking bulldog fucking thing, and I'm like, oh, great. I'm fine with dogs. Dogs, cats don't really bother me, whatever. But this dog was pissed at me for some reason. And the whole ride from fucking Huntington into Manhattan. Yeah. I'm like, sir, can we do something? Open the window? Like, let him put his fucking head out?
Yeah.
Oh, he's all right.
We put him in the fucking trunk.
Yeah, like shit.
This is the thing with these people, like they get the classification for it just to be able to bring the dog places.
Yeah.
And one of my friends did that. He went camping, and his dog doesn't like people. His dog, it's not a friendly dog, and he brings it camping, and this thing is supposed to be a fucking like an emotional whatever
support animal.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is, or what's the other one, man? The one that like helps handicapped people, like blind people and shit.
Service dog?
Yeah, service animal.
Dog, service dog. They're supposed to be like really well trained. This thing's fucking barking at everybody. This thing's going fucking bananas, and it's like got its little vest on.
Yeah.
Like, no way.
That's false advertisement right there.
No way that dog is fucking trained for anything, man.
Yeah. You've seen that thing with Steve-O, how he talks about there's no like fucking... So service dogs, there's no real official anything for a service dog.
You just sign up online and get the fucking paper.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And you can get
that's
him
what
a
my
vest
buddy
too.
did. That's what my buddy did. He gets the vest and the paper, and he's like, "Go camping," and fucking thing is flipping out. That was the last year they brought the dog.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You ever seen that guy on Instagram, the black guy with the fucking stuffed animal dog?
Oh yeah.
And he pretends he's blind and shit.
Yeah.
Killer. What is it called?
Yeah.
Killer or some shit? Calm down, killer.
What
Just people
what
flipping
city is
out.
he
It's
in?
like it's clearly a stuffed dog.
Yeah.
People are flipping out.
What did you say?
what city is he in?
I don't know. I think he goes all over.
Oh yeah, he's a traveling.
I feel like he's been out here. I feel like he's been in Manhattan and stuff.
I just found a good page. It was like pranks gone wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like just people beating the shit out of these fucking, these
The pranking kids?
Yeah, these like stupid ass fucking
I
white
feel like
kids
I've
go
seen
to
that.
the hood, and then they're like, yo, you got beef, and like fucking, I just saw it was like this big Spanish dude, like picks this dude up and like throws him like a lawn dart, and like the kid's like on the floor like gasping for air.
He's
like
choking him
on
out. I
top
saw
of him.
that.
Yeah, he's like instantly on top of him. His buddy comes, he like choke slams the other kid. Like it's like two skinny little white boys against like Fat Joe. You know, and you're like,
Yeah, I saw
you're like,
that too.
you guys are fucked.
Yeah, he said something stupid to him like, "Oh, you want to get stuck?" And he was like, "What the fuck you talking about?" And he just fucking pushed him, and the guy went flying. Yeah, because like I've seen those before too, like where and they're like it's like a punchline to it or whatever.
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you're trying to get fucked up. Then it's like, you saw that one kid that got shot in the mall.
Nah,
He was like a prank. He was a prankster. I forget what he was doing.
he got shot in the mall.
Yeah, like it wasn't around here, but I don't know where the fuck it was. But like he's in a mall, like pranking people, and whatever the fuck his stupid spiel was, right?
Yeah.
Dude just fucking blasted him.
Damn.
just
shot
like
it,
shot
just
him in
pulled
the
him out,
gut, because it was like another stupid thing like that. Like you want to get stuck or whatever. And
Yeah.
he's like, pfft,
Fuck.
go fuck yourself. It
That's
was
it.
like a stay in your ground state.
Yeah.
Eat a dick, like you don't fuck around in a state where people probably have guns.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I saw on Instagram, it's this thing like it pops up in the feed every now and then. This guy was driving on like in Florida, and he experienced a little bit of road rage. Right, they were like coming onto a ramp or something like that, so he like cut the car off or whatever, and then the guy starts like getting a little crazy with him and rides his bumper. So he brake checks him. And he's like, "Oh man, what's this guy doing?" So he goes into his like little glove box, pulls out like his little 9 or whatever he has, and the car that's like chasing him, I guess, whatever, trying to passes him on the right side, and the guy throws a water bottle at the car. He thought it was a gun, and he just starts pom 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 pom, just rattling off. They both pull over. Nobody got hurt. Nobody died. Cops got called. They arrested the guy with the gun.
Okay.
I think they even arrested the other driver. I'm not entirely sure because he threw the bottle at the car. And then that was in 2019. And then 3 years later, it all got dismissed.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it happened again.
No. It all dismissed. They dismissed it on him. They said that, he had to stay in your own ground place. he don't know what's going on. He acted way irrational, because of the gun. But the guy threw something at his car. And in the video, he has dash cam video. You can hear it. It sounds kind of like maybe a gun popped off first. And so he started popping back. But, I mean, I don't know, man. I've even seen stuff where, like, guys on a motorcycle, and it's like a rival gang member, and they're, like, shooting out at each other in the fucking highway. Like, this crazy shit.
I have seen some, over the last 2 weeks, I've seen some wild shit because I've, like, taken on X, and I started going through its platform and going through the videos there.
Yeah.
And you know what? They do not sugarcoat shit on there. I mean,
not really.
Just hashtag fights, and you will stare at the screen for an hour and a half, just scrolling endlessly and watching dudes just get messed up.
Yeah.
Like huge haymakers, some drunk dudes walking around the bars in like Louisiana acting like assholes, and then they'll just get blasted. And then the cops will run and just tackle the dude that blasts the drunk guy. And yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, it's I've been on a rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. I've been enjoying it. And then there's just some real fucked up ones that you just like, you see a girl just get cracked in the face and you're like, oh, that one's not that cool.
Yeah, some of those I kind of like better.
Yeah, you like the girl just crack.
Yeah, it's not more satisfying than watching some girl run her mouth or slapping a dude around, like talking shit, She's like, fuck you, what are you going to do? And start slapping him and shit. And then the dude just like smacks the fuck out of me. You're like,
nighty-night.
That's what happens, like that guy on the train. Do you ever see that? It's like the slap heard around the world, bro. It's like these chicks are like talking shit to him, whatever. And he's like, you're ugly or some shit. And she like slaps him. Yeah. And he just turns around and just fucking pimp slaps the shit out of her. Like he smacked the black off his skin, bro. It was like fucking insane.
Yeah.
And like everyone was like, oh, this dude apparently didn't even get in trouble. I mean, he got arrested, but he didn't get in trouble for it because it was like self-defense. There was 3 bitches hitting him and shit. Yeah. And this one bitch was running her mouth more than the rest. And he's just like, whack.
That's crazy.
And he was like, I don't know, like 7 foot fucking tall. He looked like he was a basketball player, bro. He turned around and just fucking slapped the fuck out of this
He just
girl.
palmed her head.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some people, it's like, why are you fucking with somebody like that? You know what I'm saying? They're bigger than you.
Whatever the fuck it was,
Yeah, it's crazy. I seen one with a bus driver. The girl was saying some shit to him the whole fucking time, and you could tell he had enough. He hit the stop. He got up. He said some shit, just whapped, like slapped the fucking shit out of her, and then picked her up and threw her off the fucking bus. It was crazy. Yeah.
No ticket.
Yeah.
I mean, well, because I think she hit him first, and not for nothing, it's a felony now. Like if you attack a bus driver, it's like jail time. Yeah. That's it. There's like
they're federal. They're federal drivers.
I don't know.
Felonies.
Felony can be just local or not. Yeah. I don't think they're federal per se, but they're like some kind of government agency essentially. Actually,
would you? I mean,
yeah, we're watching the video.
Oh yeah, the dude in the 8-ball.
Yeah, fucking slaps the shit out of that girl.
Yeah,
it's fucking great.
And then he's just going nuts.
Yeah.
Who's he slapping now? Just everybody?
No, the same chick. I guess he's just going after her.
No, he's like fighting a dude.
Yeah.
Some dude like attacked him after he slapped the chick.
Yeah,
dude stood up for her.
Yeah.
He just went. He slapped the chick and then just started going to town on like everybody on the bus.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it wasn't your night if you were on that bus with that.
No.
Subway.
Oh, Subway?
Yeah, it was back when the subways were safe.
Oh.
Yeah. Or no, wait, they're safer now?
Yeah, right.
Depends who you're listening to.
Well, they tell you to keep getting back inside. I mean, all those kids try to ride on top, and they're like, no, you got to come back inside where it's nice and safe.
Those are videos I like seeing, too, when the kids get fucked up riding on top of the subway.
Fucking surfing it or whatever.
Yeah, fuck around and find out.
They fly off the side or get hit by a pipe.
Oh,
yeah. Now, when I was young and dumb, I never did that. Yeah. But there was a train station that I used to hang out at. Like as a kid, I was like 12 years old, and I would hang out under the platform.
Yeah,
just to watch the sparks.
Yeah,
I'm crazy, right? And the train would come, it'd stop. I'd be quiet under there, and then it'd go, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay," and then just climb back up or whatever. It was stupid shit.
Yeah, Whoa. We used to do that. We used to take at Wanto train station. You used to be able to go up like the side.
Yeah,
and we would put fucking quarters and shit on the tracks.
I'd be afraid of it fucking ricochet.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they do. And fucking, you have to find them.
Look for more flat.
Yeah, for more flat.
Yeah, I've done pennies.
Yeah,
I've never squished anything with a train.
Oh, really?
No, I mean, I think I'm a little too old to this.
Is that a
point in
bucket
time.
list thing we're gonna do?
Let's squish some shit with the train.
Get drunk and go do it.
Yeah, definitely go to jail. It's gonna be a jail that.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and pay my bail early. I'm here to bail somebody out.
Kid, they're not gonna question it.
Myself.
An adult, they might be like, "What the fuck is this guy
What are
doing?"
you doing, idiot?
Yeah,
I've never done it before.
Yeah.
My bad.
yeah.
So when I was young, I lived down by Fort Knox, Kentucky, and they had coming down through one of the valleys a huge railroad trestle.
Yeah.
That was like 100 feet off the ground. It was one of those like the big wooden ones where you see in the Western movies.
Okay.
And like I walked out on there, and there's like three little cutouts that you can actually walk onto. So if the train is coming as you're walking across the trestle, you can like jut out there when the train goes by. And like I wanted to do it, but I've been terrified to do it. I've never been anywhere near the trestle while the actual trains were going on it. But just standing 100 feet up in the air on that trestle, walking out there, having the ground going slow and what you're walking on is going fast gives you such crazy vertigo and like your eye patterns. Yeah. No, it's really cool. But I just want to throw that in there. It's not as cool as squishing pennies. My bad. I'm not up to that level.
Yeah.
But we were just out there in nature and like hanging out on train trestles. And,
Yeah. No, yeah. Stupid shit, man. Hanging out in the fucking, the subway. Well, it wasn't even a subway. It was a railroad station, and it was one of those that like when you went in it, you went down to go under it because you can come out on the other block, or you could go upstairs to the platform. And so, they'd hang out when kids hang out under there, smoking cigarettes in there. Nobody saw you.
Right.
It was like, it was one of those things. And then upstairs, they had like a closed in like area for people to kind of sit and hang out if it was cold or whatever. But, bums were probably fucking in there and shit. So I was like, I'm not sitting on any of that stuff. Standing in there. I smell like piss too, so no good. Public places are not that nice usually.
No, they're definitely not.
Do bums really have that much sex? I mean, you always hear of bum fucking, but like, are they really out there just like bumping uglies?
I mean, you have to find one.
Yeah, why not?
You
Right?
have to find like
You
your
find
kind.
bum soulmate. You know?
Yeah.
Like if we bum it together, like we could share cigarettes.
And we could share STDs too.
Yeah.
And whatever other uncleanly things happen down there.
And we can share needles.
Yeah.
I mean, they need the huddle for warmth, so
Yeah. Come cuddle.
why not have a little insertion when you're doing it?
Since we're already here.
Nothing keeps you warmer than butt stuff. Yeah.
Oh man.
Wait, are you saying that bum loving is gay loving?
I'm sure it is, bro. I mean, what else is a bunch of meth out dudes trying to keep warm? Who gonna fucking,
So you're saying down in the subways, there's like a human centipede of like 15 dudes that are just keeping warm.
You ever see The Other Guys?
The other guys.
The movie The Other Guys.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Right? The soup kitchen? There was no girls involved in that. It was Dirty Mike and the boys. There was no girls in that shit. Right? Look,
I'm not
for a girl to actually be a bum, right? She really needs to be totally methed the fuck out or completely and totally disgusting. Like
Right.
STD ridden, whatever. Because no matter what, there's like some schmuck that will take care of that bitch that has a place to live, No matter what.
Yeah.
Unless she has a really large clitoris.
Could have some.
Some odd growth coming out of that thing,
What?
or really bad drug habit, But other than that, like
The drugs and the mental issues definitely can do that too.
even
somebody.
chicks with like bad drug habits, they usually find someone to take care of them because they're like, all right, I like drugs too, but I go to work. You just do nothing and go to work, but you suck dick for drugs, so I'll keep you around.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I the other day, driving down the parkway, I saw like what looked like a little bum village.
Where is this?
Oh, dude, there's bum villages everywhere. In the city.
Underneath like the overpass, on the like the northern state area, over by like the mall.
Oh.
Yeah. in
Like Garden City area?
yeah.
Well then.
Yeah.
Bum City's moving
Yeah.
into Garden City.
They're in the like there's like a brush, like you know how like the trees and shit get to the sides of the bridge, and you can see it. You can see that there's like it looks like tarp or something's all up underneath the bushes. Probably during the summertime, it's hidden because of the leaves. But yeah, so they must have themselves a nice little hut, over there. They're probably stealing from a kitchen or some shit. I don't know.
I wonder how the taxes are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the city by where I work, there's like a bum village. It's like it almost looks like an abandoned building, and they got scaffolding up,
Yeah.
and it's like right next to the High Line, so like nobody.
Oh,
really,
okay.
Nobody's really walking there because everyone walks the High Line, so it's not like.
But they got
So-
the rats that are the size of cats over
Oh
there.
yeah, so they have like just like under the scaffolding, they just have like tarps up as walls, and it's like I don't know, probably 200 feet long. You know?
Yeah.
And it's like all these like crackhead looking dudes out there like smoking cigarettes and shit. Like it's totally a soup kitchen.
I saw this thing online. It was like a bum who was going to a construction site or like stealing wood and shit, and like right next to it was building like a house.
Yeah.
And he had like electricity from the fucking light pole that was there. He like hooked it all up himself. Yeah. And nobody says shit to him. He just lives there.
Bro, there was a guy
To this day, he's just hanging out there?
As far as I know,
Dude,
I've
they
never
lived there
been
for
there.
a while, and then eventually, like, they'll do some initiative, and the
Like the
cops
town
will
will come or
and
whatever.
clean everything
Yeah.
out, fucking, because they did that in Queens with Roosevelt Avenue. They had like, it was like 30 fucking like campers and RVs, like actual shit, and then tents and other shit.
Yeah.
And they just came one day with fucking tow trucks and dump trucks and just cleaned up.
Can you imagine that shit?
They were just like, oh, you guys are
people
leaving
are in it.
today.
Yeah,
Yeah, people are
they're
fucking living there. Like, oh, I've been there for a year and a half now. They're like, yeah, get the fuck out.
Yeah. You can
That's your
stay
problem.
inside it.
There was another guy, I think it was the Manhattan Bridge, a Chinese guy.
Oh, I heard about that guy.
Dude, the guy built himself a fucking apartment in the bridge.
Yeah.
Get the hell out.
Yeah.
Wait,
He took like, he was going to construction sites and shit. The guy had a microwave, he had a heater, he had fucking, he had it set up, had a TV. So he had like a kitchen area, a living room area, a bedroom area.
Yeah, but they knocked it down and he built it again.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
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 So
Or
where's,
it was an
where's this
article.
located on the Manhattan
Like
Bridge?
inside the bridge, where you know how they have like the steel beams like coming down and shit. The dude made himself like platforms to walk on, and then insulated it and fucking. Dude, it was. I'm like, dude, it's Chinese, man. You know?
I kind of want to visit him.
It's in there eating cats.
Give him a knock on the door and be like, hey, I heard about you. Just seeing if you were in. I wanted to see your house.
I seen some video online of this like halal cart, and these guys standing outside of it, and there's some pigeons.
Oh
He
yeah,
grabs it with a
fucking grabs a pigeon. Yeah.
What the-
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
jumps in his cart.
Yeah, and I'm like, what are you doing with that?
That looked like it was over by the Barclays Center, to be honest with you. I thought
yeah?
that was in Brooklyn.
Now, everyone thinks that guy cooked it, right?
Yeah.
He raped it.
That was a raping pigeon.
Yeah, poor pigeon. Seen some things.
You know what's crazy? It's like
I heard you got to duct tape him first.
pigeons with domesticated animals, apparently, and you could eat them, apparently.
Yeah, do they-
you can eat everything. Bro.
Well, no,
It's
the
just
French.
we don't. We're like, no.
The
A
French-
dog? That's like a pet. Then you see
Yeah.
a Chinese guy's like, looks juicy. You're like, dude, get away from my fucking dog, man.
The French. It's a delicacy for the pigeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they eat it to this day.
Oh.
Yeah,
They eat
it's a big
like,
thing over there, and they also eat snails. So
It's like a songbird. It's like dude. It was in that show Succession,
Okay.
right? But it's like actually a real thing.
Yeah.
It's like a songbird that's like, it's like a weird thing to like. They like took like the whole thing whole and like deep fried or some shit. Right?
Really?
Yeah. It's like a little fucking bird, bro. And it's like they just eat the fucking thing. It's like a delicacy for these rich fucks, you know. I'm like, who the fuck is eating like? I just can't eat like. I'm not eating bones and shit, like the guts and all that crap.
yeah, it's like the beginning of Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, where they're like chilled monkey brains, and you're like, who wants that? And
Yeah.
then they have the snake where they're like scooping stuff out of the guts. And you're like, how is that delicious? Who? And then they have the beetle there, where they like open up the beetle shell, and then like it has like the meat inside, and they're all eating it. And they're like, this is delicious.
Yeah, it's
Like who decides? Like what? How low were you at that point in your life where you're like, oh, I'm starving. Look at that beetle running across the dirt. I want to eat that thing. And then you're like, oh, well, this would taste good if I deep fried it.
I mean, like, if you're in the middle of the fucking desert, like, dying, yeah, I'm going to eat some shit, you know? Like,
Well,
yeah. I'm at least gonna try.
Beer me, please. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
radio. No, I understand that. I mean, hey, tough times bring like harsh measures.
But still, like, I'm not
do some
ripping
crazy
things
shit.
like intestines out and like, well, let's see what this thing ate and like scooping it into my mouth. You know,
It's like eat it like a spaghetti.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Raw haggis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, man, hawks fucking eat a pigeon. They eat them raw. They don't cook them
yeah.
shits. They just fucking pulling them apart.
Yeah, they do. The Peregrine Falcons in New York City like go after pigeons all the time.
Yeah, I mean, rat, they whatever, but that's how their life is. You know what I'm saying? And what's funny is like, so they talk about if there was like a nuclear explosion or EMP or whatever went off and like destroyed all technology, that there'd be starvation. And the reason is because like McDonald's is closed.
Yeah.
Like that's the real reason.
People
right?
are too stupid to like eat their like the same
Make their
thing.
own food, right? Yeah.
There's literally people that would like die rather than like kill an animal and eat it. You know? And it's like, again, like I'm not going around and fucking eating a fucking raccoon. But if I was stuck in the middle of the woods somewhere and had no way out, like because I was hiking and fell down a mountain or some shit, like, and I'm there for 3 or 4 fucking days, I'm gonna fucking catch a raccoon and eat that fucking thing, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe even eat it raw, you know? Fucking, you know, like.
I think that's like day 10 where you eat them raw. Like, you're like, yo, I'll be 30 minutes into the woods. And you're like, I need a snack.
I mean, there was that fucking plane crash, right? In the fucking, in the 80s or whatever, there was that plane crash in the mountains. And like they were freezing to death and shit. And then they started eating the fucking people that died.
They started eating each other,
Yeah. They started eating the people that died. There's people that are like, I would never do that. Fuck that, bro. I'd be like, yo, Joe's a fat fuck, man. That's gonna be good. Let's try to slow roast Joe right now, man. Fucking,
Yeah. Well, you want somebody with some muscular.
I was gonna say you deep fry Joe. You want his like lard to get like melted into the meat.
Use it as butter.
Yeah.
I'd be over there cutting Joe's ribs out. Like, yo, we're gonna fucking slow roast these fucking things.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna do it just right.
Yeah, I need baby back Joe.
Yeah.
Now, since we're talking about cannibalism,
Oh.
what about like the
Topic's hot.
Those weird societies of like secretly eating
Eating babies?
parts and whatever else.
You mean
What the hell?
Are you talking about like the rich people like eating babies? Adrenochrome?
No. I don't think he's going down that rabbit hole. I think he's more talking about like the people that like pay restaurants to cook human body parts.
It's not even really restaurants. They have like there's like these cult-like groups that like meet online in like the dark web. Like you don't like there's no easy way to get to it.
Do you think do you remember those people out in Suffolk County that got arrested for having body parts in the fridge?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they were part of that kind of like cultish society or wanted to be a part of something like that? Because they didn't kill somebody. They just acquired dead body parts.
Yeah.
Or so they said.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
We didn't kill a guy. We just found his leg.
But
No, they had a bunch of stuff. They had arms, legs. They had they were all chopped up and like in the fridge and ready to go.
No, but they identified him because like the guy had like a tattoo on his arm or some shit.
And I'm like, oh, that's a good part.
And they took in some like kids. They weren't even like that old. They were like teenagers or something like that.
Are you talking about the shit that recently happened where they couldn't charge him for killing him?
Right, exactly. And then like they got pissed off because they were like, yeah, we can't charge him for killing him, but yet we don't have him for a crime, so we got to let him go. And the town's like, you're just going to let people that have random body parts in their fridge just out on the streets? We don't. They seem
that was a pretty crazy fucking story. Oh, we can't charge him with murder, but they charge him for like dismemberment or some shit, and it's like, how do you dismember something but you didn't kill it?
Right.
Oh, we were just walking by the train tracks and found this body, and we took some of it home.
Like, you know what we could do? We could probably do a few things.
I want to see that interview. I want to see the cops interviewing those people and like, what fucking line of shit did they say? You know?
That's it. We should start doing FOIL requests.
Yeah. We should. We should do a FOIL request on that one, man. What the fuck with these?
Yeah.
You know? like some idiot.
Been a
It
while.
was like Officer Farva, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, it sounds logical to me, man. You just found a body and cut it up." You know,
Who wouldn't want to do that?
fucking stupid.
Sounds like a good Thursday right there.
Yeah. But yeah, you never know. It could be, maybe they were gathering for their feast or some shit.
That's what I'm inquiring about. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So there was like
That's what came to mind
a
when you said it.
journalist that wanted to go like view a tribe. There's some like tribe in the Philippines or some shit that have like their own island. Like it's like a do not fuck with them thing after this,
Oh,
right?
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, like she like goes over there. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go like interview them, and, like learn about their lives, whatever." And like never seen again. And then like
Wow.
somebody like went there looking for her, and they're like,
They never
seen them again. They're like, all right, well these people are obviously killing and eating these motherfuckers. Let's not, you know, they're known for cannibalism. And, like,
Right.
you know, it's
Yeah.
like,
We should stop sending people
You
to that
know,
island.
maybe white people should just stay the fuck away from that island. So it's like now it's like knowing like don't even go like within 50 miles of that place because they'll kill you on their little fucking hollowed out wood fucking canoes, you know?
Yeah, they'll fucking hit you with the darts, you
Yeah.
know, shooting you with the fucking poison dart.
The last thing you
Yeah.
see is your friend's shrunken head on a pike
Yeah.
by the guy's front door. You're like, oh, that's Jimmy. Oh.
Yeah, there's only like 2 islands that actually, I think, in the world that have like indigenous people on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that are like that. Like, and they don't like people that are not like them, and
Yeah.
they think that you're like an alien or something. But it's weird because like the one that's close, that's like in India, that's in the Indian Ocean, like right behind the island, you could kind of see like the city of like India, you know? So they have to know people are there, right? They
Yeah.
just don't go there, you know?
Look away. Look away.
Yeah, they still use body paint and all that other stuff, you know?
It's like the Amish. You
It's
know?
very.
I was just going to bring that up. I always felt when I was young that the Amish people were like, they didn't like outsiders. They didn't like other people.
They don't.
I think that the Amish is more of like a religious like culture in a way. It's part of their religion and stuff.
You don't
know?
think they're tribal?
I don't think that
tribalistic?
it's like just.
Well, it is like that. It's part of their religion, and it's like
Yeah.
they're like, you know what, the world was perfect in like 1873. You know,
Yeah.
before electricity, before anything. You
Yeah.
know? They're like hand tools, perfect. you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
Anything more advanced than that, no good.
Yeah. But they have windshield wipers on their buggy, right? That are manual. They use strings. Yeah, I've seen that. You know, but yeah, I mean, you know, Amish people, man, they one hell of a builder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Build you a shed in 10 minutes and move it with 30 guys. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the Amish, my hat's off to them.
Yeah.
I was traveling across country back to New York, and I left out of California, and I got a chance to ride on the train with an Amish family. Greatest people in the world, stunk to high heaven.
Was it a coal train?
What? No, it was not.
Was it a steam train?
No, they're allowed to ride in vehicles as long as they're not the ones that are like driving the vehicle.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think that's
So when you think about it, they're like just like a weird form of Jew. You know?
yeah. As long as they're not touching it, it's
my
okay.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they asked the people in Pennsylvania.
Aren't
if-
they? I thought they were Catholic. They're not. They're not Christianity. They don't believe in Christianity.
I have no clue, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
I've
definitely
never
not
dated
Jewish.
an Amish.
Yeah.
They're not, definitely not Jewish, but just the whole thing of like, oh, we can't operate this, you know? It's like it's like the Jew thing. It's like on Fridays they can't touch their phones and stuff. It's like,
Oh yeah, that's
but they
right.
could ask fucking Joey to do it for them, you know?
Yeah, with the elevator thing.
Yeah.
Like, hey, can you go ahead and hit 4? No, I'm getting off on 2. Can you hit 4? Nope, not going to do it for you, buddy.
You know what's crazy? Like, so I don't know much about
You
the
gotta
Jewish.
tell him if your God wanted you on 4, he would press the button for you.
And honestly, those stairs will get you to 4, no problem.
Yeah. I don't know that much about the Jewish rules and stuff like that, but from what I understand, in Brooklyn or whatever, like there's a certain time period that they're not allowed to like leave their house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That it's actually unsacred for them to do that. However, some rabbi or something like that, they hung some kind of wire.
Yeah, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago.
Oh, you did? Yeah, all around like Brooklyn, and like as long as you're in the wire zone,
That's considered your home. So like you're allowed
yeah.
to do, but like you're still not allowed to like use like your phone or like it's like stupid rules to it. But yeah, there's a wire that goes around the city.
so they let them out.
Yeah,
They like
so,
let them
like,
out of their house.
yeah, because it's
Yeah.
considered like it's like some like loophole. You know, I mean the Jews, man, they find loopholes. You know, so there's like some fucking loophole where it's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we hung up a fucking wire, and then they pay the rabbi or whatever to go around every fucking Thursday or Friday, whatever day of the week it is that they're not allowed to do this, and make sure that the thing is intact.
Oh, yeah,
know?
it's got to be connected all over,
Yeah,
right?
it's got to be right. If it's not right, then he's got to like get someone to fix it. And like,
Yeah. What was that weird ass shit with them like crawling in the sewers?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And they were like breaking into like a synagogue or something through like
no, they were trying to expand the synagogue. They were trying to make it like larger.
They were climbing through the sewer. Like they came out of there like Ninja Turtles.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on in Brooklyn in that particular time around that
It
monastery.
was very weird. Yeah.
Or synagogue? What is
Synagogue.
it? Synagogue?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was
They were
weird.
like in the walls.
Whole lot of conspiracies with that shit.
But then they fought the cops. Did you see that?
Yeah, they were going. But what
Because
happened?
they were
though?
saying
Like,
they were trying to expand the synagogue, but then apparently there was like tunnels that led to like 5 buildings
yeah.
around there. And
Okay.
Then there was like a conspiracy. There was a bunch of like missing kids.
Crazy,
the
man.
Jews got to taste the flesh in them and eating children and shit.
They're the new boogeyman.
Yeah.
Jump out with their curls.
The curls
man.
and the little fucking strings.
Yeah, the strings flaring out to the side.
Yeah.
The menacing.
That's why they carry the strings, man. They can tie kids up with it.
They hang them off of each one. Yeah, I pray to get another child every night.
It's fucking weird though, man. Whatever the fuck they were doing, it's just fucking weird,
Yeah.
And then some people said it was like a COVID thing. They were, because people weren't allowed out during COVID. I'm like, when the hell were people not allowed out during COVID? They tunneled into their synagogue.
Yeah.
It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Hold on a second. I mean, 2.5 years, maybe.
Yeah,
like,
later.
Yeah, you're gonna expand your synagogue that much?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, they were doing this for a while and like taking tips from Pablo Escobar. Like, how do we make tunnels throughout the city?
Well, they definitely hired Mexicans to do it, man, because Jews don't work that hard. So they ain't fucking, they ain't digging tunnels. They were like, hey, amigo, come here. We need a tunnel from there to here, man. Like, okay, $400? Nah, $250.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of those tunnels should probably existed already. There's a lot of like hidden shit in the grounds of New York City,
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm obsessed with the mole people. The mole people of New York City.
Mole people.
Yeah, they definitely I am very intrigued by that. Apparently, you can get into the lower areas of the forgotten tunnels of the subway.
Yeah.
And once you get down in there, like there's layers to the craziness. And any of the lit areas are like the most mild of the crazy. Now, mind you, if you've ever been to New York City and you've met our local wildlife, they're absolutely wild. But that's level 0. When you're up on the streets in New York City and you meet one of the bums in New York City, that's level 0.
Yeah.
And then once you go down to the lit areas under the city, now you've reached like level 1 bum. And level 1 bum is now much scarier, much more freakier, much more into drugs.
Yeah.
And then as you go into like the unlit areas and go deeper into the city, apparently it gets more crazy and like people will fly around the
Get
city.
to level 7, it's just like all meth labs.
Yeah.
You're like, what the hell?
Using a torch, walking around.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, like I heard stories that serial killers will come from around the world to New York City to go down into our subways to hunt. Because, like, if you kill someone down there, they don't retrieve the body. They don't go looking for them. They're like down.
Yeah, and the people down there are forgotten souls anyway, so.
You might have to watch out for them. They might be crazy enough to kill you.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey.
yeah.
At least put up a fight.
Or you hit them with the lights and they're like, they can't see shit. Right?
Completely blind.
Honestly, I wouldn't even be afraid of the mole people. It's the fucking rats down there. They're probably fucking,
Yeah.
they're probably real life splinters, like they're fucking 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
They know jujitsu, like,
Do a front kick to your face.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
fucking alligator or two down there, like fucking. The last thing you need to worry about is the fucking crackhead.
Well, I mean, the whole underworld in New York City. It's just like a Goonies.
The underworld.
Yeah, it's like a Goonies paradise.
Yeah, I mean, it is true. All these abandoned subway stations and shit exist, but I don't know how many layers there are to them.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean layers of craziness, not layers of like you actually go down from one layer to another under the city. I mean, those subway tracks are abandoned because they weren't big enough for the subways as they got bigger and expanded for more people to ride on the subway trains. So they were just like, yeah, we have nothing to do with this. We can't really
Did you
make
ever
it
hear
bigger.
the theory of like the mud flood?
No, tell me mud flood action.
So like the mud
flooding?
flood is like the world somewhere in like the 1800s had a mud flood, right? It was kind of equivocal to like, Noah's Ark story, right?
Okay.
But like,
Mud. All mud.
it basically buried like buildings and like, civilizations and like, fucking, it like just wiped out fucking the areas of the world, right?
Where is this located?
All over the world.
Oh, so the mud floods just happened. They just rushed.
Yeah, it just happened, right? So like fucking like they say like the maps of like it's like normal timeline of like, let's say New York City, right? Went from like Native American Indians living here and like nothing,
Yeah,
to like buildings and skyscrapers within like 50 years.
yeah.
I thought it was like 1500s till now.
No, it was like dude, fucking Native Americans were here until like the 1700s, and then like early 1800s, 1830s, 1840s was like buildings in the city.
Dude, I've walked around New York, like Long Island in New York City, and seen buildings that were made back in the 1600s.
Yeah, kind of proves the point, right? But like, so like you go from nothing to like buildings,
Yeah.
right? In periods that like the technology wasn't there, right? Like how are you building giant buildings?
Yeah, right.
With fucking horse and buggies and shit, no cranes, no electricity,
The ancient aliens.
So like the theory is like these civilizations existed till the mud flood came.
Oh.
Buried the subways and buried everything, right? And like we discovered the subways. There's no real pictures of us constructing subway tunnels. The buildings were already here.
Yeah.
So how the fuck did we make subway tunnels underneath buildings that we built, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And around buildings that we built. And they basically said that like, the theory is that like the civilizations existed, then this flood came, wiped everything out, buried everything in mud, then we just basically dug it back out. And that's where our cities and most of it came from.
That's an interesting concept. I believe some of that, not entirely all of it. I know that in Europe they have found archaeological sites.
Europe is huge.
That is in like layers and layers deep. Like
buildings that were like 3 floors, but then they actually start digging and it's like 7 floors. You know, and you're
like down.
And they're like, like you look at it and they're like, you think like, oh, they just built basements, and they're like, why is there windows that were here that are now bricked up?
Yeah.
That used to be a window. Like you can see the arch and the framing of the window, but then they just like bricked it up to close it off because now it's underground. Like, why would you build a building where you're like, oh, let's put windows here
and then close it?
Shit, but we're underground. Let's close it off.
Sorry.
Whoops.
Look at the dirt sky. I mean,
Yeah. And there's like lots of buildings and areas like that,
I thought the rock behind this window would be exposed really well.
I mean, it's crazy too. Like, the water, the oceans are rising, and the islands are like, starting to erode. And so like eventually, Manhattan and all that's going to be in the water.
Well, Manhattan in general wasn't a real place.
Yeah.
Manhattan was marshlands, and then they filled it in with fucking
landfill,
and even like old ships. So like it was a building they were putting up. I forget where.
Most of like
and they like dug up one of the old ships that they buried there to like make the ground stable.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, this is historical, and then it became like a whole big thing, and they had to like excavate the ship and then continue excavating for like where they were putting the building. You know?
I know a lot of like what is it? World Trade Center is all like fucking sinking or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's all built on the same kind of thing. Like it's just trash.
Well, same thing with One Plaza.
Yeah.
One Plaza's down there by the like subway trains coming into the city, and that whole area is all sinking. But it's all man-made. They all came in like where I think with Manhattan, either they'll go ahead and turn it into a Venice, or they'll just keep building onto it and like building up the walls and dams to make sure that it doesn't get flooded.
They pump it out.
And then you're going to have to pay it as New York's New York citizens.
That's what the congestion pricing
for. We're building water dams.
Yeah. You ever seen those videos of the guys who like drive through all the parking garages and shit to just like try to like avoid the $9 fee?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's going to run thin.
Oh yeah, they're gonna lock it out.
Oh, well, no, there's other lights that are getting put in like throughout.
Oh, different areas.
Yeah, so you can't just make it through the like first perimeter and you're good to go.
What I really love about the whole thing is that, like, so the government put up all those cameras and all the shit, right?
Yeah.
Before
MTA.
before it was passed.
Right.
Before it was even passed.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to spend billions of dollars. I'm sure it was billions of dollars, you know, because nothing's less than $1 billion with the government. On putting up all these cameras. And then we're going to try to pass it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, why does that make sense to a normal person? You know? Like, why not try to pass it first and then put up the fucking cameras, you know, to enforce it?
Yeah.
Like, but they're so confident in their ability to fuck over the American general public that they're like, we're just going to build it.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna fucking make them take it. And then they floated the idea of it being like $20 a day or $15 a day or whatever. And then people are like happy now that it's $9.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, that's why they floated that out there. Like last year, like they knew 20 wasn't
Give
gonna
it a big
pass.
number.
It's gonna go to 20 without a doubt. People are gonna be paying 20 within a year or two or whatever the fuck it is, right?
Yeah.
But they were just like, yo, we're going to scare everybody with 20. Everyone's going to get all upset. We're going to have to wait another 6 months or whatever. And then we'll throw it at like, you know, whatever, $10, you know? And they settled on 9 because 9 sounds better than 10, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, $9, you know? We'll fuck them at 9. Now people are like, oh, it's only $9, you know? It's not going to stop me from going to the city. It's like, asshole.
Yeah, that's till next summer.
In a year, it's going to be 20, motherfucker, you know? And you're going to sit there and go like, oh, it was only 9 last year, you know, like you fucking jerk off.
Yeah.
Speaking of the government fucking us over, I am glad to see the USAID being removed.
Oh, yeah, fuck that.
Oh, dude, they funded so much bullshit.
What?
So what? When it comes down to
What didn't you like about that?
No, right? I mean, what part of the U.S.? You know, actually, hold on. Side point, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hung out with one of the guys I work with today,
Nice.
and he was talking to another guy who was like crazy left wing. He's from Ukraine. Really great guy, likable guy, but just like he's just like so propagandized with this shit. So he was talking about how Elon Musk is given power by Trump, and like, you know, he's given power, but he's not an elected official. He has no right to be in there. Like, you know, fucking just dismembering these organizations that are spending tax money ridiculously.
Yeah.
But like, he didn't say it like that, right? He was like, you know, Elon Musk has no right to be in there. He wasn't elected, you know. He shouldn't be doing this, all this shit. And he's like, and his point was that we should be focusing more on taxing these rich people more money. And it's like, when you walk into a bathroom and there's fucking shit in the toilet, do you flush the shit down or do you fucking just sit on top of it and shit, right?
Yeah.
Because if you just take more money from rich people or people in general, but it's just getting fucking wasted in piles of shit everywhere.
Yeah.
What good is the extra money? You know, like it's not gonna help. It's just gonna go to more stupid shit that we don't fucking need. So like, flush the shit out. Get rid of all the garbage. Let Elon Musk do what he's doing. You know, why do we need to spend, what was it, $20 million on condoms in Gaza? You know, fucking, we need to do research on if fucking pigeons like cocaine. Like, what are we spending money on, man? Why are we spending tax money on this shit?
squirrel sensing. Making sure that we're counting all the squirrels in America because they can't count themselves, and we need to make sure those squirrels are there. Or one of my other favorites is the sandwich guys.
Yeah,
they will.
What constitutes a sandwich?
Yeah, constitutes a sandwich. What does constitute as a sandwich?
Like, what the fuck are we spending?
Is it 2 pieces of bread and a piece of meat?
Yeah. It's like,
is it cheese bread meat?
What kind of bread
20 million
constitutes bread? You know, like, it's so stupid. So we're spending billions of dollars.
You know what's stupid, man? It was that we didn't figure out how to get on that study. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, we are good sandwich guys. Like, we know our sandwiches well.
Yeah. We should have been the ones paid.
You know, we need to study out what makes a podcast a podcast. Yeah. What's the difference between radio and podcast? That's going to be our fucking...
There you go.
Our philosophy fucking study. We need $50 billion for this.
More than Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever Ukraine got, double it.
Jesus. But yeah, so...
Yeah. Go ahead.
The USAID shit sent money to Ukraine, paid Chelsea Clinton fucking $80 million.
Chelsea Clinton?
Yeah, it's like just such retarded fucking money. And again, all of it is
so
basically taxpayer money.
You know what? That I can. It's hard to say this, but I can kind of live with that because I've just been like that shit's been happening our entire lives. Like the Democratic party's been winning, and the Republican party's been losing, and we're the Globetrotters. Well, they're the Globetrotters. We're the General Washingtons. So, but whatever. It's the fact that they were paying social media, like all the guys on social media that are anti-Republican.
Well, the Politico thing.
Yeah, the political thing. They're getting fed. They're getting spoon-fed money and paid to go on there. Yeah. And like to see them now, I'm just like, oh, you were taking money from the US aid. Awesome. Yeah. So like there is not even a reason to respond to you anymore. You're just getting paid to push the propaganda. Yeah. You're like the Chinese propaganda pushers.
Well,
you're doing it for this party.
They also paid the celebrities that went to Ukraine. So getting back to the Ukrainian guy that I work with. Yeah. When the Ukraine war broke out, we worked in the same location at the time, and he was all like, "Oh, the butthurt, people are dying or whatever." Yeah. And then like U2 held a concert there. Yeah. In Kyiv or whatever the fuck it is, right? And then like the celebrities are going there and taking pictures with Zelensky and everything, and I'm like,
"This is a war zone?
What fucking real war?
Yeah.
Are people going places for photo ops?
Yeah.
And like I even called it out back then, and I've said it on the show before.
Sunday, when you look at the fucking Sunday.
You look at the fucking pictures of the bombings in the beginning of the Ukraine war.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any pictures different yet. There's no bodies.
Yeah.
There's nobody looking through rubble. There's nobody like looking for anybody. Like there's just like a building that fell down, like.
Well, they were all told to go to the underground bunker, and they were all hanging out down there.
Fucking. Then they had the fucking YouTube surprise concert go on. It's like, it's like what real fucking war is actually happening over there? It's like.
That is true. Yeah, for a little while they had like a lot of like social media and like YouTube live shit of like people in basements and shit. And then all of a sudden that kind of just stopped.
Well, hold on. Let's go back to the beginning. Now, this is what I remember from it, and correct me if I'm wrong, because usually I am. When it came down to Russia invading and coming into Ukraine, it started off with them like the soldiers not even wanting to be there. And then like I heard about tanks breaking down along the way and running out of gas. And then there was like some old lady who decided to invite a couple of soldiers into her house to feed them. And then she poisoned them and killed them all. And like just some real treacherous, weird shit. And that's how like the war started. And then all of a sudden I just started seeing a bunch of drone shit going on where they had the drones flying in after like the different soldiers of Russia and like blowing them up in different exotic ways.
Yeah. Thanks, America. Fucking that's really what happened. Like America's like, here's a bunch of drones, man, fucking. Yeah. But like, so, in the beginning of the war, Russia sent like 20,000 troops in there to show a little force, right?
But then
which wasn't an invading army, right?
Right.
It's not an invading army, right? They have millions of fucking soldiers over there, right? They prepared for the Cold War. They had tons of weapons. Everyone says stupid shit. Oh, they have antiquated stuff. Dude, Russia's one of the superpowers of the world. They don't have antiquated fucking weaponry. Their military budget spending is not quite what America is, but it's up there. You know what I mean? So like if they really wanted to roll through a little country like Ukraine, they could fucking turn around and take a shit all over Ukraine. Now Ukraine has some good money that they were spending, and then like Ukraine's budget was like $6 billion a year, some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
For military spending. We sent them, I think they received $50 billion from us inside about 18 months.
I thought it was like 300.
No, it was supposed to be $100 billion, but we didn't finish sending all that yet. Trump came in and stopped the rest of that, but it was like something like they received like $50 billion. So like they received, what is that, 6 times their annual spending on military shit they got from us in a year and a half. And Russia isn't defeated.
Well, the way I look at it, I mean, is so you have a large army like Russia, but they got hit with the sanctions right away, right? So Russia's trying to do what it can, but it's suffering because it can't move its money, it can't do stuff like that. They're trying to get a lot of their tanks and stuff like that to the front line. They did struggle with a lot of that, and they also have a lot of defection. A lot of the military didn't want to even be involved with the war.
That's very true, But on the other side of the coin, a lot of the Ukrainians, like there's like 1 million people that travel into Russia to work. Like,
oh, sure.
Like Russia and Ukraine is like New York
and New Jersey,
Pennsylvania. Like I work.
Canada would have been a better example.
Well, no,
it's another country.
It's another country, but like
there's people who work
less
in Canada.
People travel to and from Canada than Ukraine and Russia, to work.
Okay.
Like so, like I work in the city.
There's basically no border.
A bunch of guys I work with in the city live in Pennsylvania, live in New Jersey, live in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And they work in Manhattan.
Uh-huh.
And when I was an iron worker before my job now, same shit. So like it's literally like people from all over Ukraine and on the other side too, Russians going to Ukraine to work, so it's like back and forth, so it's like literally like people are traveling back and forth every day. Russian, Ukraine was Russia till like fucking 83 or some shit like that. Like it was like very recently Ukraine became Ukraine. Like, it wasn't like a thing. It was part of the USSR, like it wasn't.
Yeah, so, it was like the fall of Stalin.
Well, most of the people there speak Russian,
the first agreement was the nuclear weapons. So they had nuclear weapons, and Russia was very upset about that, and they made a plan to get rid of them, and that's what happened.
Is that what happened in Chernobyl?
No, Chernobyl is a nuclear power plant that experienced a meltdown and was unrecoverable.
You said Russia doesn't want them to have nuclear.
Well, no.
items.
So Ukraine is an important area because it's far enough west, I guess, that intercontinental missiles from Ukraine can reach America, right?
Really?
Yeah, from Russia, from the Russian side, from the other side, like towards Alaska and fucking California. It might hit some parts of California. It could definitely hit Alaska because, like, at best they're like 5 miles apart.
What are they trying to kill? A moose?
Yeah. So
there's not much going on.
But from Ukraine, like they could hit like New York, without using submarines and shit.
Okay.
So that's why, like, America and NATO, quote unquote, doesn't want Russia. That's why, like, Ukraine became Ukraine. They don't want Russia to have it because it is a standpoint, right? But then when you had the Warsaw Pact and the NATO Pact, NATO wasn't supposed to continue pushing towards Russia. Yeah. NATO was supposed to say, west of fucking the Berlin Wall or whatever the fuck it was, right? Like west of Germany, Yeah. And all those countries were supposed to be Warsaw Pact countries. Now, the only country that's not NATO is Ukraine. So, like, again, in the beginning, in the war, they say, like, did Russia advance on NATO? Or did NATO continue moving towards Russian borders? Because they took all these countries over more towards Russia, and I don't know all the fucking names of the countries, Kazakhstan or whatever, but I don't know all these fucking countries, right? But, like, the only country over there that's not NATO in all of fucking Europe now, besides Russia, is Ukraine.
Well, I think that some of those areas, though, south of Russia, like Kazakhstan and all that over there, are
like
still
India
not,
and all that shit. Yeah,
they're still not NATO. But but definitely since the incursion or invasion of Ukraine, Finland has joined. They've always been in contention with Russia. Russia's actually like marched on their lands and shit. They had some issues with that. And I mean, the Warsaw Pact, and they wanted to create their own kind of like NATO defense against NATO, right? Like And at one point, actually, Russia wanted to join NATO or something, and they weren't allowed to because it was, I don't know, wasn't trusted at that time. But yeah, it's
Well, they can't. You know, like the funny thing is like, you know, America needs an enemy.
yeah,
You know, and the enemy of democracy is communism.
yeah.
It's like Russia's never not going to be communist.
Well,
China's never not going to be communist.
China's not a NATO member.
No. And like we need them to not be NATO members. Like we need we need that. Like
Yeah.
America, the war machine, the military industrial complex, all this shit, like we need an enemy. So if everybody's all NATO and we're all hunky dory, who are we fighting?
Well, yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah. There's always an adversary.
so like they need those big countries. You know, like who gives a fuck if Pakistan is not NATO? We could fucking roll over Pakistan. We could cock slap Pakistan. You know, but like fucking Russia's a big fucking place. They're a superpower. China's a big fucking place. They're a superpower. You know, they got billions of fucking people. You know, so like, and they eat fucking cats. So like, you know, they can come in here and fuck us up. You know, because like, you know, these fucking these left wingers, you know, will lose their minds if they see someone bite the head off a cat.
Yeah. No, it's all crazy, man. That whole situation over there, I think, is very difficult. You do have like the ethnic issues, right? Where you have like, you know, Ukrainians that live on the border of Russia and that are Russian, or vice versa. And then there was like issues where they're saying that there were ethnic Russians in Ukraine being discriminated against because they were Russian in Ukraine, and you know, Russia wants to come and make this good, don't hurt our people even in your land kind of deal.
Yeah.
So did you hear recently that Trump actually called up, what's his name, Zelensky?
Yeah.
Yeah, called up Zelensky and goes, "Hey, yeah, it looks like you got a $50 billion check outstanding. What's going on with this? Like, can you go ahead and give me an invoice of where the money was distributed?
Yeah, you can't find it.
What was going on with it? What did you do with $50 billion of our money? Can you go ahead and let me know what happened with there? Like, yeah, I'd like to know. I'm the new boss." And he's just like, "Yeah, no,
we don't know what happened to it."
Yeah. They do have they have poor accountability for the money that they're giving.
Yeah, $50 billion.
When you're dropping all fucking, what is it? Fucking those C fucking 50 planes or whatever the fuck they are, full of cash.
Yeah.
You know, like motherfuckers just running up, taking stacks and running away.
Yeah, they're mine now.
You know, they did the same thing in
pallets of fucking money.
I don't know if it was Afghanistan or Iraq or whatever, but they literally sent a plane over there with $1 billion because that's how the military operates, right?
Yeah.
They literally sent a plane over there with $1 billion on pallets.
U.S. currency.
That no idea what happened.
They parachuted it out. And good luck.
No idea what happened.
I think I saw that pallet.
Like, did you see the movie War Dogs?
Yeah, War Dogs. Exactly, my dude.
So they literally that literally exists in the military.
Yeah.
Like they have like whatever the fuck their officers' names are, whatever, that control the money or whatever, and like because they need services, they need fucking toilet paper, they need food, they need shit, and not everything is easily supplied by airdrops or whatever. You know, when you got fucking hundreds of thousands of soldiers all over the place, so they have fucking bundles of cash that are fucking stacked away and ready for whatever the fuck they might need, fuel, whatever.
You would be buying it from the locals.
Well, like they,
no, they outsourced
the sick part is like they're buying it from fucking Russia, so like a Russian fucking tanker comes in full of fucking diesel and they're like, here's $100,000, thanks, and like fucking, it's like it's retarded, but that's literally how it operates. So they sent cash over there and it like disappeared, and they're like. Fucking insanity, bro.
And that's our government in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate you as always. Sorry we missed you last week, but we're coming at you. Please like and subscribe. Do everything that you're supposed to do down in like the little buttons below you. We appreciate you.
Don't masturbate.
Honestly,
masturbate.
You can masturbate, just maybe not to us.
No, Doug.
Doug's voice.
Doug's voice. He tries to sound sexy on here.
All right, guys. Good night. I appreciate you, and as always, fuck off.